If you're collecting Social Security or planning too soon, stop scrolling. The rules are changing in 2026, and some of these updates are going to shock you, especially the one at the very end. That one could cost you thousands if you ignore it. So don't go anywhere. Trust me, you'll want to hear every word of this. And hey, while we're at it, I'd love to know who you are. Comment your age and state. I'd love to know who's planning smarter out there. Now, Social Security just pushed out major changes for 2026. These are official updates. No rumors, no guessing, and they affect nearly 75 million retirees, disabled workers, and SSI recipients across the country. And yes, that includes you and me. I've gone through the full list and picked the most impactful changes, the ones that could knock real money out of your pocket or put some back in. Let's start with retirement benefits. Specifically, if you're collecting before your full retirement age and not reaching full retirement age in 2026. This group always gets hit hardest when income rules change. So, buckle up. In 2026, if you're receiving Social Security retirement before full retirement age and decide to earn some extra money on the side, there's a new earnings test limit you'll want to burn into your memory. You can now earn up to $24,480 per year, or about $2,400 a month before Social Security starts clawing back your benefits. That's $1,080 more than last year. Go over that number, and Social Security will withhold $1 from your benefits for every $2 you earn above the limit. Let me be clear, that money is not gone forever, but you'll only see it again after you reach full retirement age. And even then, it trickles back into your monthly payments over time, not as a lump sum. For anyone who's already retired, but still thinking about part-time work, babysitting, consulting, cashiering at a store you like, this update matters. It either frees you to earn more or warns you before you accidentally earn too much. And if you are reaching full retirement age in 2026, you get a much higher earnings limit over $65,000 a year. We'll talk about that in the next part. All right, let's keep this going. Because the closer we get to the end, the more critical these details become. So here's the deal. If you're already receiving your Social Security retirement benefit and you'll hit full retirement age in 2026, you're in a kind of in-between zone. You haven't reached full retirement age yet, but you're just about to. And in 2026, the system gives you a lot more breathing room. You'll be allowed to earn up to $65,160 before they start withholding benefits. That's more than double the limit for early retirees. If you want to pick up extra shifts, manage a side gig, help a family business, fine. But once you earn above that $65,000 mark, Social Security will deduct $1 for every $3 you go over. Still, like with the first group, any money withheld will eventually make its way back to you once you reach full retirement age. They'll recalculate, bump up your monthly amount, and you'll earn it back gradually. Now, listen closely. Once you've already reached full retirement age, you're in the clear. You can earn unlimited income and still keep your full Social Security check. No limits, no garnishing, no recaps. If you're 66 or 67 and still want to work full-time, part-time, start a business, launch a YouTube channel, whatever, Social Security won't stop you or shave off a dime. That's freedom. But let's shift gears here, because retirement benefits aren't the whole story. A lot of people, maybe you or someone close to you, also rely on SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance. The rules for that system are different, stricter, and often misunderstood. The big term here is something called SGA, Substantial Gainful Activity. That's the fancy name the government uses to decide if you're too capable to get disability benefits. For non-blind SSDI recipients, the income limit in 2026 is set at $1,690 per month. That includes any kind of earned income, part-time work, a side hustle, selling things online. If you're making more than $1,690 in gross income, you're officially in SGAA territory. And if you're earning more than the limit for too long, your SSDI benefits can be reduced or stopped altogether. They can even ask for money back if you've been overpaid. For blind SSDI recipients, the limit is significantly higher, $2,830 per month. That's because under federal law, blindness is treated differently when it comes to earning potential. Let me be absolutely straightforward here. Social Security will find out about your income. They use automated systems, IRS, info, payroll reports. You don't want to learn this the hard way. If you're earning anything, report it. Protect your benefits. It's not worth the stress or surprise letters down the line. Now, before we move into the SSDI changes and the shocker at the end, take a breath. And if this is helping you or someone you love, hit the like button so the algorithm knows this matters. Helps more retirees see it. For anyone who's already retired but still thinking about part-time work, babysitting, consulting, cashiering at a store you like, this update matters. It either frees you to earn more or warns you before you accidentally earn too much. And if you are reaching full retirement age in 2026, you get a much higher earnings limit, over $65,000 a year. We'll talk about that in the next part, if you're still with me on good. Because now we're digging into territory that affects millions of the most financially vulnerable Americans, those on SSI, Supplemental Security Income, and then we'll get to that big shocker I teased at the start. Trust me, it's worth the wait. So let's talk SSI in 2026. Yes, the COA increase is real, you're not imagining it. Just like retirement and disability benefits, the cost of living adjustment applies to SSI too. In 2025, the maximum federal benefit for an individual was $967 per month. In 2026, it's going up by $27, bringing that new maximum to $994. Not fireworks, but better than zero. Now, for married couples on SSI, it's similar. 2025's maximum benefit of one of our $350 becomes $1,491, an increase of $41 per month. Same COLA, same federal math. Now, if you're not getting the max, don't panic. Many people get less due to other income or resource rules, but changes like this still affect the baseline. But here's where it gets tricky, and this is why people get tripped up or end up losing benefits they desperately need. The asset limits haven't changed. The federal government still expects individuals on SSI to stay below $2,000 in total countable assets. For married couples, that limit is $3,000. And no, that number hasn't moved since the 1980s. Let that sink in. We're talking about a program designed to help the poorest people in America with an asset limit stuck in a different century. Inflation's gone up 200% since then, but your asset limit frozen in time. That means if you're on SSI and you've got even modest savings, a rainy day fund, inherited money, an overfilled checking account, and it tips your balance over $2,000, you could lose your benefits. They could stop your monthly checks. They could even ask for back payments. It happens every month to people who didn't realize buying a used car or getting help from family counted as extra resources. So please track your balances. It's not fair, it's not modern, but it is the rule. And the more you know, the better you can protect yourself. Now we're almost there. One more thing before the big reveal. Every single group covered so far at retirees, SSDI recipients, SSI beneficiaries all receive a 2.8%, 8% COLA increase in 2026. It's baked in, automatically applied starting in January or December 31st if you're on SSI. There's nothing you need to do. And here's the twist, the COLA is not enough to offset the fastest rising cost seniors are facing. And that's where the real kicker lies. Because the final change, it hits your healthcare coverage and could force you to spend more out of pocket in 2026 than you gain from your COA. Now, before we move into the SSDI changes and the shocker at the end, take a breath. And if this is helping you or someone you love, hit the like button so the algorithm knows this matters. Helps more retirees see it. For anyone who's already retired but still thinking about part-time work, babysitting, consulting, cashiering at a store you like, this update matters. It either frees you to earn more or warns you before you accidentally earn too much. And if you're reaching full retirement age in 2026, you get a much higher earnings limit over $65,000 a year. We'll talk about that in the next part. Here it is, the moment I've been teeing up since the very start. And this is the part most people never see coming. The real shock of 2026. While Social Security benefits are getting that 2.8% increase, Medicare costs are rising faster, much faster. And that means for many retirees, especially those on a tight budget, especially those living almost entirely off Social Security, your COA increase is already spoken for, not by you, but by Medicare. Here's what's happening. The automatic increase in your Social Security check, it's tied directly to inflation. But Medicare Part B premiums, those change based on healthcare spending and program costs. Historically, and this is absolutely true, Medicare premiums often jump more sharply than the COA. Every time that happens, your Social Security increase evaporates into healthcare costs before it even reaches your pocket. In 2026, seniors who rely on both Social Security and Medicare are staring down exactly that scenario. Let me make this painfully real. Imagine you're getting an extra $30 a month from the COLA, but Medicare Part B goes up by $25 or $28. You've now got what, $2 left, maybe less. And that's before we even talk about prescription drug premiums, co-pays, co-insurance, or retired folks still dealing with inflation on groceries, rent, and gas. The system wasn't built for this, and millions of retirees are realizing they're falling further behind even with benefit increases. But, and this is important, knowledge is power. Understanding these changes is how you avoid being blindsided. And for a lot of people watching right now, just knowing this info today is going to save you pain down the road. So let's recap the essentials. You now understand better than 90% of people out there. If you're on early retirement, you now know the updated income limit. And what happens if you go over? If you reach full retirement age next year, you can earn a lot more before there's a penalty. Social Security disability income has strict income limits, and hiding income is a disaster waiting to happen. SSI recipients are finally getting a small benefit bump, but frozen asset limits can still ruin lives. Everyone's getting a 2.8%, 8% COLA, but rising Medicare premiums might wipe it out instantly. And if any of that left you thinking, I've got to stay on top of this next year, you're absolutely right. Your Social Security, your health are your retirement income. They're not set and forget. The rules change every year, and the people who stay informed are the ones who keep the most money in their hands. If you found this helpful, stick with me. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown. I'll be here helping you navigate every update, every policy shift, every financial landmine the system likes to drop on people like us. Because here's the truth. You spent your whole life working, saving, raising families, paying into the system, and you deserve to navigate retirement with clarity, not confusion. Now tell me, did any of this catch you off guard? Drop me a comment. And if you've got friends or family on Social Security, do them a favor. Send this video their way. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, take care of yourself. You're not just surviving retirement, you're mastering it. Now, before we move into the SSI changes and the shocker at the end, take a breath. And if this is helping you or someone you love, hit the like button so the algorithm knows this matters. Helps more retirees see it. For anyone who's already retired but still thinking about part-time work, babysitting, consulting, cashiering at a store you like, This update matters. It either frees you to earn more or warns you before you accidentally earn too much. And if you are reaching full retirement age in 2026, you get a much higher earnings limit, over $65,000 a year. We'll talk about that in the